Hi, thank you, Sydney, and thank you to our public affairs team for bringing this together tonight. And most of all, thank you to the U.S. citizens that are participating. Like everybody has said, this is our first time doing this, so it's an experiment and a work in progress, but hopefully after tonight, you'll leave us more information about how we're handling passports, report of birth abroad, as well as how to vote from overseas. So I just want to talk a little bit about what does American Citizen Services do. Many of you know us for the passports. We do emergency passports, regular passports, reports of birth abroad, renunciations. We handle military and civilian, just like my colleague Cindy said. But also, we handle special consular services. Sometimes these are more tragic and more difficult. We deal with death cases, arrests, which I know none of you are ever going to do here again. We work on crisis planning. And like Cindy said, we generally don't expect to evacuate Germany, but what we do is assist our other posts. We've dealt with the evacuation from Cairo. We help with, even during COVID, hundreds of flights came through here, bringing American citizens on their way home to the United States. So tonight, my focus is passports and citizenship, as well as consular reports of birth abroad. For those of you who are either planning on having little children or have had children or are a child of a U.S. citizen, this might be something that you need to worry about. It is a bureaucratic process, we'll be honest with that, but it's the best way that we can go forward. So the key prerequisites for transmitting citizenship: one parent, it has to be a biological parent, has to have been a U.S. citizen when the child was born. If you naturalize after the child's born, I'm sorry, but you'd have to use a different process. Also, depending on the circumstances, the law dictates how many years you must have been physically present in the United States. So it all depends on whether it's a birth in wedlock or out of wedlock. People ask sometimes, who qualifies? What if I'm over 18 and I just found out my father's a U.S. citizen? You can still move forward. You're just going to do it through the U.S. passport process as first-time applicant. But for those with children, it's important to do this when they're under 18. And remember, the consular report of birth abroad, it's not a birth certificate, it's a consular declaration, it's a document certifying that the child had U.S. citizenship from birth. When you come in for the interview, an officer determines under U.S. immigration law if the parent has met the burden, as I listed here in the key prerequisites. So one of the great tools we have as a pilot post, it's Germany or Frankfurt's big, we're trying to investigate new technologies and help the department move forward. And I know that might sound funny because the government is usually very paper pushing and very bureaucratic, but for this one, we're trying to use technology as our friend. If you're going to do the e-CRIBA, it's very easy. As long as your child was born in Germany, as long as one parent was a U.S. citizen, and as long as you didn't use the assisted reproductive technology, you have a credit card or you can pay with direct payment from your bank, you could do this online. However, you upload the documents, you would file the application, you would pay, but you still need to come in for the oath and for the interview. And we do need the child and the parents to come in. But don't worry, if you can't use the electronic portion, we have our regular CRIBA. You can find the information for the manual process on our website. It's usembassy.de. So what do you expect at your appointment? You show up here at the gate, what's going to go on? We're going to check your paperwork. We're going to make sure you have everything. We hate making other people wait because somebody showed up without the form filled out, without the documents they need. It's not fair to the others. So if your documents aren't complete when you show up, if you forget to bring your child, then we're going to ask you to reschedule. You're going to go through a security screening, much like you do at the airport. So please minimize the bags. Don't bring lots of liquids. Don't bring lots of extraneous things. Make it quick and simple to get through. Once you're called, the staff's going to interview you. We're going to do some data entry. We're going to talk, the consular office will talk to you. And then if we need additional information, we will ask you for it. But don't worry, we will give you some time to get it to us. So what about a U.S. passport? So those are applying for U.S. passports. It's very easy. You complete the form. We need your current photo, not an old photo, not a photo with glasses. We need your payment. We need valid photo identification that's issued by a government. Citizenship evidence. You can use your passport to satisfy both of those. Now, if it's for a child or a first timer, or if you've lost your passport or stolen, if your bag was taken off the Deutsche Bahn, whatever it might be, we are going to have to get some additional documents for you. Emergency passports. We can do this. We print passports very quickly here, but you need to show us that there's some sort of documentation of your urgent need to travel. Usually you do that through your flight reservation or your ticket. They're good for up to 1 year, and you don't have to pay again as long as you qualify for a valid emergency passport. So what's the difference between an adult and a child? And what about somebody who's 16? I don't know about you. I have a 13-year-old. They get difficult. So under 16, maybe that's the place to stay. Key elements. We need the child here, and we need both parents. You can't just send your child in with the credit card and let it happen. We need to see you. We need to know that you are the parent. Send us the birth certificate at the time of application. One really important thing that I want everybody to remember is when you're filling out your form, I need your social security number, or you need a signed statement, word for word. There's an example on our website that explains that you don't have a social security number. So again, what to expect at the appointment? So one thing to remember is we're doing the best we can right now with COVID. That means we have to socially distance. We need to limit the number of appointments. We need you to come prepared and to wear your mask. So you're going to come in, it's much like the cribba. We're going to check your paperwork. If you come in not prepared, we're going to send you home, unfortunately, and we'll ask you to reschedule. You're going to go through that security screening. You're going to see our staff who are going to welcome you with a great big smile, and the consular officer is also going to talk to you for a few minutes. So think about this. If you can do a passport renewal by mail, and I know that's difficult here in Germany sometimes because you can need either a US money order or you need a certified bank check, and I know some of the banks are difficult. We are working on seeing if we can get into another pilot program which would allow you to pay online, but for right now, if you're going to do the mail-in, please mail it with all the documents, otherwise we send it back. And if you want, if it's easier because you can't get that certified check, you are welcome to come. We are starting with walk-in hours again, and this should help a lot of folks out there. Mondays and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., you'll be able to come here to the consulate with all your documents, with the payment, with the photo. You'll be able to come in and come out, and our goal is to get you in and out in 15 minutes or less on those days, only on the walk-in days. Again, if everybody comes prepared, everybody limits what they bring in security screening, then we can do this. This is how we're trying to serve you and protect you while you're here. Now, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to visit our website, or tonight, submit them through the chat, or go ahead and email us at frankfurtpassports@state.gov.